Yes, back in the saddle again.
And it feels so good.
Bernie and Sid back here on Legendary 77 WABC on this post-Labor Day Tuesday. Great to be back. I know we left you in good hands last week, but I know for me, I missed it. I missed you, and you look great. You look great and gay and everything. You look fantastic.
Did you say gay?
Like happy, yes. Like happy and...
I didn't take it that way.
Well, of course not.
I like to take it a different way.
Which way is that?
So maybe you're right. Hey, you know what? You know who else is back?
Who else is back?
The Mets are back.
The Mets are back.
The Mets are back.
And your boy, Big Sexy Bartolo Colon, with a great effort yesterday. They shut out the Reds, and right now they're just a game back of the last wild card.
Big Sexy picking up the slack for DeGrom and Matz and a few of the younger guys, Lugo and
look at this.
This is great
with Joe and Evan.
But I tell you what, though,
you want to break down the Blue Jays and Yankees
too?
The
Met fans cannot be booing Daniel Murphy. All right, let me just say that.
Why not?
Because they can't.
Why?
He's a hero. He was a Met hero.
No, he wasn't.
A year ago.
No, yes, during the postseason. But then he cooled down in the NLCS. He disappeared against the Royals in the World Series.
Stop booing Daniel Murphy.
He left the Mets and took money to go someplace else.
They wouldn't pay him.
That's true.
Sydney.
It's nice to be back. Tell me, before we get to all the important matters on hand, Barack Obama, Colin Kaepernick, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton.
Trump's return.
Trump's return. He's back. I will admit that. And the great, a.k.a. Bobby Bacala, Steve Schirripa, Sopranos fans, live in studio with us next hour. How was your vacation? How was
Fantastic.
the
Fantastic. I actually took my boy to Ireland. We went to Ireland together before he starts his professional career next month.
What's he doing? What's he doing next month?
He'll be starting a job with one of the big four accounting firms, KPMG.
Really?
Yeah. It's a big deal.
It's Hillary and Bill's friends.
Could very well be. I could flip by November, 7th? I don't know what election day
63 days from today. We're down to the final 63 days.
I could flip, but anyway, Ireland, 'twas lovely. Sure, it was lovely, so it was.
You were in Dublin or all
I
over?
was all in Limerick, Galway City, Dublin, Mayo, where they shot The Quiet Man and went to that town, County Clare, up the north, all over my people. I wish I could tell you that, I got syphilis from some Galway City hooker. I was rolling with some Irish hooligans in Dublin, beating the crap out of Englishmen or something. I wish I could tell you that.
Didn't go that way?
It was a lovely time. A lovely time. We did go to the Cliffs of Moher.
Oh.
Where a couple of days earlier, somebody either fell or was pushed.
Was pushed, yes.
So in my estimation, it's the Cliffs of Moher, or it could be the Cliffs of Mordor, is what I'm saying to you now, Sydney, me boy.
Nice.
Me boy, you.
Yeah.
And yourself.
Did you visit any temples in Ireland?
There actually is there was a former mayor of Dublin. He was Jewish.
Really?
There was a beautiful Jewish temple in Dublin.
Stop.
And I did not vandalize it or anything like that.
That's great.
No, that's true. The former mayor of Dublin recently was actually Jewish.
No kidding.
That's no lie.
How much did you drink?
Oh, he drank a lot.
For F's sake, man. It's a new liver I'd be needing. I'll tell you that right now.
Didn't know Manischewitz made Guinness.
At the Cliffs of Moher, it was so precarious. Well, you really could fall right off.
And die.
I was sweating Guinness. I was so nervous.
Sweating Guinness.
It was a lovely time. That's like
we stayed in the country. Didn't do anything as eventful as you did. We did have a great time on Wednesday. My dear friend Mike Sullivan, who owns Brennan and Carr, a landmark Brooklyn establishment, the best roast beef in the world. And by the way, his best friends with Steve Schirripa, Tony Sirico, all those guys. Steve, you'll be here today. He's got a boat, a beautiful boat, and he took me, Danielle, Ava, and Gabe out down the Hudson. And we went up and down Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Nice.
It was amazing.
I saw some of the pictures of that.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Statue of Liberty behind us, Ellis Island. That was great.
Beautiful.
His friend Val, the whole crew. And then Thursday we went upstate to White Lake by Monticello. And
the Jewish album.
Yes.
All right, let's get some Jewish music.
Yes. Where's Hava Nagila?
Why not Black Lake? Black Lakes matter.
Black Lake, you're right. But in an effort to be one with Bernard, we did spend Saturday Shabbos chasing the Hasidim up and down trees all over Kayamisha.
Oh, my God.
I would have almost given up my Ireland vacation
to do that,
to join you in that endeavor. So I would, Sidney Rosenberg.
We had a good time. But, now it's serious stuff because your kids are older now, but my 2 kids, at least in Brooklyn, they start school on Thursday, and Danielle starts her new job on Monday, and now it's like back to real business.
Yes, it is. And congratulations, by the way, to little Gaby.
Thank you.
I know what.
Big announcement.
They actually bumped him up a grade.
Yes. We went to his little school there on Avenue V in Brooklyn, and they said that he was so strong in English and good enough in math where he skipped 2nd grade.
Wow.
My son went right from 1st grade to 3rd grade.
And he's your son.
Yes.
Did you have a DNA test done?
Well, he's also Danielle's son.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, listen, congratulations. Beautiful thing. Your daughter also a brilliant young lady.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's all great.
Most kids start school today. My kids started today.
Is that right?
I don't know why.
Not in Brooklyn. That's Long Island.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right.
It differs, but
let's put it this week. It's back to work and back to school at some point this week. So that's it. The fun is over.
Some side news said, speaking of the fun is over, Roger Ailes settled his lawsuit with Gretchen Carlson.
Yeah.
And he apparently he's going to pay her $20 million.
$20 million. Grab my ass all day.
My God.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right?
So jealous.
Oh, God. I mean, look what happened to Jill with the last regime here. She got nothing.
I got nothing. This is bullcrap.
They pounded her on the table like it was something out of Bull Durham.
You're not supposed to act like you like it. I think that's that's the difference.
Right, and you come back and ask for more, that's where you kind of lose your leverage.
Damn it.
And Greta Van Susteren will be leaving Fox News.
No.
As she had supported Roger Ailes in the wake of the lawsuit. Now she leaves on the same day that the lawsuit is announced that it's settled.
Well,
Brett Hume will take her.
Brett Hume's going to take. There was some people that said when Roger Ailes was going to leave, there may not be a mass exodus, but there would be some part of the Fox crew that would leave solidarity for him to show, hey, he's our guy. Is that why she actually left?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, and my guess is that's not the case.
Okay.
But I really don't know. First of all,
did they just figure out she's too ugly to do television?
Well, she's the weak link in the lineup, and
Right.
having nothing to do with her looks.
No, that a lot to do with that. But I mean, she can haunt a 3-family house.
But anyway, it's a good turn of events as far as the programming goes, if you ask me.
You think she was pissed that she didn't get hit on by Ailes? She was like, bye-bye.
Listen, let's take it easy here. Let's take it easy. But look, my boy Donald Trump back up in the polls.
Yes, he is.
Back up, man. We went away. What happened? What did he do? Did Bill Clinton get accused of rape again or something?
He didn't do anything. She's had, he had his bad turn. Now she's had a bad turn.
Wait, he didn't go to Mexico? He didn't go to a black church?
That did nothing for him.
It's
this email thing is hurting her. There's no question.
How about Omarosa dancing at the black church?
Nobody even saw that.
Oh,
the email thing is starting to hurt her.
Beautiful woman. She is beautiful. And he was flanked by Omarosa and Katrina Pearson. I was like, wow, this is what I'm talking about.
Listen, it depends. The same CNN poll that you're talking about today. See, first of all, you hate CNN.
Hate their guts.
When she was up big in that poll weeks ago, you said that poll is garbage. Today it's not.
Yes, you did. That's a lie.
The NBC national poll.
I acknowledge that he was down in the polls when he was down.
Yeah, well, he's down 6 points today, still.
Well, except in the CNN poll, he's up 2 points.
CNN poll, right.
But we're on our way, fella. We're on our way.
Hey, he's making it a race. Now, again, forgetting about whether you like him or not, just based upon the way the Electoral College is set up, it's hard for him to win. Forgetting about anything else.
Yeah, I know. It's a difficult,
tough,
arduous obstacle for him to overcome, the Electoral College.
Right. But with that said, he's had a good week.
It's a huge obstacle. And usually the states, from what I understand, they lag behind the national poll, so look for those numbers to improve.
Let's see.
All right.
The debate should be fun. There's another chance for him to do even better. I will say this. I was pretty cocksure, very confident, yelling and screaming, it's over. And I may go back on that just a bit.
And also, as she allowed reporters on her plane, she had a couple of coughing fits yesterday.
I saw that.
Leave
her alone.
Leave her alone.
She's got a cough.
Let me tell you this.
She's got a cough.
When John McCain ran in 2008, he was 1 year older than she is now. They were relentless about his health.
I remember.
They just were the guy's an old war hero, and they were still just killing him for his health. He's too old. Blah, 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 blah. This lady's coughing. She's got concussion. She can't remember a
very
security
sexist.
meeting.
This is where Donald Trump and his people really. You want to talk about? Oh, he's not sexist. He's not a racist. This is very sexist.
Never brought it up before until the coughing fits yesterday.
I'm sure you did. She coughed before.
Not me. I didn't bring it up.
No. Yes, we have. She coughed before. We actually put it to some of our songs.
I was not one of the conspiracy theorists, but I will say this: that John McCain was slaughtered about his health.
Okay.
The media obsessed.
That was wrong.
But
why does that make this right?
But I didn't say it was right or wrong.
Right.
But
Very
it doesn't
sexist.
make it. It can't be sexist if they did it to John McCain.
Of course it can.
How can it be?
That was horrible to do it to him, and this is sexist now.
No.
Of course.
You're missing the point.
Oh, because she's a female? It's got to be both. It's because Donald Trump is up on both?
If they did it to McCain and they're doing it to her, it cannot be sexist.
Of course it can. Of course it can.
How do you argue with this, folks? 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. Obama weighed in on Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the same after this.
77 WABC. Traffic and Transit.
That accident on the New York State Thruway westbound between the Palisades Parkway and
We are back on 77 WABC. Bernie and Sid back from vacay, baby.
Long stretch now. No more vacation time till I guess.
That's right.
Well, Thanksgiving, but legitimate time till Christmas, New Year's.
And an exciting stretch.
Yes.
At that.
Yes.
I want to correct the record. It was Gretchen Carlson who settled the lawsuit with Roger Ailes, not Greta Van Susteren. I think we misspoke.
No, I think you said Gretchen. You said Greta is leaving. Greta Van Susteren is leaving, but Gretchen Carlson did get the $20 million from Roger Ailes.
Some caller said we said otherwise, so there you go. Just wanted to straighten the record.
Well, maybe you did, but who cares? So
now listen. The big story while we were away, one of the many big stories. There were many. Our boy Anthony Weiner just lost his mind.
Well, and he was supposed to fill in for us last Monday.
That's right.
And that ended. That's over.
What happened there?
Well,
oh, my God. All right, we'll talk about that at a future time.
Yes, we will. You talking about Mark Sanchez going to the Dallas Cowboys? Is that the big story?
I don't think so.
No, that's not it?
Mother Teresa being beatified, becomes a saint.
And right away I thought of our good friend Bill Donahue. He must be so happy today.
Of course he is.
Yes.
And she was getting slammed by a bunch of haters. And now now it's saint.
She's a saint.
Saint Mother Teresa.
And Drew Brees may be a saint for 4 more years.
Well, that's
different
true.
type of saint, of course.
Oh my God, Sid.
Well, you have.
How could you do that?
New Orleans.
So
you can tell
funny.
I'm excited about football,
You're
right?
so funny.
You have Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham
who made an ass out of herself. She's a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, and a child abuser.
Right. Thank God she's got her looks.
Get to that another time. Chris Brown, a lot of people, but Colin.
Chris Brown is the biggest piece of garbage ever. I mean, honestly, his music sucks too, but what a piece of garbage.
This will lead us into what we're going to talk about. Also, he also tried to hide behind the F the police.
I saw that.
F the police, right? So you see, it's poisonous. What Colin Kaepernick did was sort of poisonous. And anyway, he weighed in. He said he wouldn't stand during the national anthem. So listen to President Obama yesterday. Take a listen to this.
My understanding, at least, is that he's exercising his constitutional right to make a statement. I think there's a long history of sports figures doing so. I think there are a lot of ways you can do it.
You know, no one is on. This is what really annoys me about what Obama said yesterday, and even on Facebook and the other conversations I've had the last week or so. No one is arguing whether or not Colin Kaepernick has a constitutional right. He does. I also have a right to go in the middle of the street and start yelling racial slurs all over the place. You can't arrest me. But that ain't good. The fact that he can do it doesn't make it good. When people say it was a peaceful protest, in this day and age where there are cops being shot, civilians being shot, where racial tensions are about as bad as they were 50 years ago, anything you're doing that provokes race cannot be peaceful, let alone a guy that's going to wear pigs on his socks.
Absolutely right. Look, it's pure unadulterated ignorance on his part. That's what it is. He obviously is not aware of the facts, first of all. There is no epidemic of what he alleges of cops shooting young black males. There is no epidemic whatsoever. The facts state otherwise, according to the New York Times, the Washington Post, to black Harvard professors that have done studies. When whites, it is true that cops engage black males a lot more than they do white males. But once they engage, and there's a reason for that, that's another conversation. But once they do engage, the stats show that the white perps are shot at a way higher rate than the blacks. So first of all, he's ignorant. I don't know if he's willfully ignorant, but he's perpetuating ignorance is what he's doing. And we have a black president and a black attorney general where the buck stops. If there's any injustice if justice is not carried out on a local or a state level, the black attorney general can take it up just like that. Bing, bang, boom. End of conversation in this country. So whatever the hell he's talking about, it's either willful ignorance or it's not. He has a girlfriend who apparently
she's the one who's instigating all this. And by the way, just so you know, in terms of what the people feel, this is a guy that has been relegated. He started the Super Bowl a couple of years ago with the 49ers. Now he's a backup quarterback for a bad football team, backing up a guy in Blaine Gabbert who's never won as they get ready for the Rams on Monday night. His jersey sales this week went through the roof. They sold more Colin Kaepernick jerseys off the 49ers site than the whole team combined in the last 9 months.
And, of course, it's an orchestrated effort on the part of organizations to make that happen.
And the NFL. The NFL's the worst.
The NFL is this bunch of scum. They did not deny the Cowboys the right to wear a decal.
Right, for 9/11.
Honoring fallen Dallas police officers during that massacre.
Oh, that too, right.
And yet they say, this is cool. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. We have a lot more on this after the news with Deb.
That in mind, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable
the thing about Kaepernick too that pisses me off. Look, if you don't want to stamp the national anthem, it is your constitutional right. I think you're an asshole, but you can do that if you want to, and the veterans will hate your guts. But what people are not talking about is because they're going to defend him. Well, he has every right to do it, every right to say it.
Yeah, duh.
What about the socks? What about having pigs wearing police hats on your socks? How are you okay? So if you're okay with him sitting for the national anthem, which I think is about as anti-American as it gets, but you're entitled, how are you okay with the socks?
You can't be. And there are other ways to do what he's doing. There are other ways to bring attention, even though, again, as I stated before, he's wrong. He's dead wrong about it. But and again, he may mean well, and if otherwise credible people are telling you that the cops are racist and that they're killing black people in the streets and there's being no justice ensued in the wake of these shootings, if otherwise credible people like President Obama are telling you that, or Hillary Clinton in a disgusting attempt to pander are telling you that, and the media is echoing that, well, then he means well. He actually believes that. He's ignorant. He's stupid.
Listen, I'm voting for Hillary. I'm not echoing that. Plenty in the media that are liberal that are going to vote for Hillary. They're not echoing that. They're pissed off at Colin Kaepernick, as they should be. And here's the other thing, too. It's not peaceful. Once you wear those socks, which very graphically depict the cops as pigs, all of a sudden, that's not peaceful.
No,
how is that peaceful?
It's not cool. It actually, again, he's perpetuating the ignorance. So people listen to him and they believe Obama, they believe Hillary, they believe the media, they believe Kaepernick, they believe that this is the state of affairs here in this country, and it is not true. There is no epidemic of shootings by cops. And by the way, many of these cops are minorities themselves who get stuck. The last cop in Chicago, he was a minority. He was a black guy, 24-year-old cop. And he shot the kid in the alleyway.
Right.
He was a black cop. Nothing racist.
But he's not saying just
afraid for his life.
But he's not saying just about the shootings. Like when you see people defend this on Facebook and they go, what about Tamir Rice, the little kid in Cleveland? He was shot. What about Eric Garner? Eric Garner was not shot.
Here's the thing. The Attorney General, the Justice Department, under the black president, or President Obama, can do something about it. If they think that they were not treated fairly, if justice was not done, they can step in and they can make justice be done.
Right.
They could do it. So direct your anger towards them. They said, you know what? There's no basis, there's no grounds to bring charges. We're going to step back and abide by the local jurisdiction's decision. We're going to go by whatever the state or the city or the county or whatever the hell it was decided. They could do otherwise. They decided not to. Direct your ire and your anger at the black. There were two successive black attorney generals.
Right.
Direct your ire, your anger at them and at the president. He can do something about it if there was an injustice done. Apparently there wasn't.
No.
Ignorance. Let's go to T.
And listen, the guy in South Carolina, he's in jail. The guy in Chicago who shot McDonald 16 times.
And by the way,
he's in jail.
That guy should be executed.
Of course.
He cold-bloodedly put 17 bullets into the kid's body as the kid lay on the ground. That guy, he should be put in an electric chair and executed. And we all agree on that.
But the pro-Kaepernick guys say the guys in Baltimore, despite getting acquitted, should not have been. What happened in New York with Mr. Garner should have been a lot worse for the police.
Listen, well then, Attorney General Lynch, where are you? And by the way, the cops in Baltimore, half of them were black. The cop driving that bus was a black cop.
That's right. That's true. And the lady that did get into trouble for the Garner case, she was black too, right?
That's right. Exactly. She was the supervisor, the sergeant. Listen, Attorney General Lynch, where are you? I want to hear what you have to say about what Colin Kaepernick said. We heard the president.
Right.
He easily, conveniently ignores the fact that his Attorney General could remedy any wrong that has been done in their eyes.
You'd love to see the 49ers. I know it's not going to happen. This kid's making a ton of money, about $100 million. And what I said on Twitter a couple of days ago was, hey, listen, if you're really upset about the way the black community is being treated, then do something about it. You're making $100 million. Take $5 million and build a school. Now, as it turns out, the day after I tweeted that and got a bunch of likes and retweets, Colin Kaepernick said he's going to donate $1 million.
$1 million. He had donated money before that.
Yes, he had. And to his credit.
1-800-848-9222 is the number if you want to get in. But also the news here is that his girlfriend inspired all of this social activism. Apparently, she's an MTV DJ. And she's also, let's see, she's frequently spoken about perceived racial injustices and Islamophobia in the United States. Apparently, she's Islamic, and they're going to go through with an Islamic-style wedding.
Yes, they are.
So behind every good man is a nice piece of ass, I guess.
I guess.
Behind every
I haven't seen her.
Man,
I'm not sure she's a nice piece of ass, but
well, she is. I've seen her.
Oh, you've seen her?
Yeah.
Even the way he looks, Colin Kaepernick years ago had those big guns. There were pictures when he was in the Super Bowl in New Orleans against the Baltimore Ravens of him kissing his own biceps. And he had very, very short hair. Very short hair. Now he's got an afro. There's Colin Kaepernick with an afro. And what I saw on Twitter a couple of days ago was, for the people out there that go, well, you're a white guy, you'll never understand. I think a lot of people are not even talking about the color of his skin. What people have a hard time identifying with is a guy making $100 million talking about the struggle. It's not about black or white. It's the guy making $100 million talking about the struggle.
He didn't experience any struggle, as far as I understand it. Nor did the guy who spoke at the BET Awards.
Jesse Williams.
He was all pissed off and carrying a chip on his shoulder.
And he's worth $140 million, by the way.
By the way, John Lennon. Remember what the woman did for him? The Yoko Ono, being Kanye West. He married Kim Kardashian. Bill Clinton. What he did because of a woman.
Ava Braun? What about Ava Braun?
I don't think she motivated Hitler.
Probably not. No.
I don't believe so. And the San Bernardino terrorist.
That was the wife, too.
He flipped. He immigrated the Islamic nut job terrorist, and she flipped him. So guys will do crazy things for women. Tina from New Jersey, you're on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning, Tina.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi. Go right at. You're on the air, Tina.
Oh, hi. I was listening to the radio. Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to make a few comments. One about you blaming Nessa from actually in the Hot 97.
Blaming, Russia, did you say?
Her name is Nessa, and she's
yes. She's Hot 97 and MTV. That's the reports. The reports are that she has inspired his social activism.
Right.
We know nothing but.
On a gossip site. That was on the gossip site. I don't know if you guys should use that site as.
Actually, it was on Fox News for one, which is not. But it's not a gossip site.
Okay, but Tina, are you here to tell us that is not true?
No, what I'm saying is that, first of all, what does that have to do with anything? Number two is, isn't Colin Kaepernick a grown man? Why does he need a young lady to lead him into...
Tina, don't be naive. Grown man or not, I mean, men have done things that are you can't even imagine because of their love for a woman. Now, I don't know if, in fact, this is one of those cases, but to say that doesn't happen is pretty naive, no?
No, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but to even put that on this whole idea of what he's doing is I just think it's disingenuous. And also to talk about how much money he makes or what kind of cushy lifestyle he has, he's still considered a black man.
All right,
Tina. He'll get pulled over more than a white person.
He never got pulled over. He never got pulled over.
Put color on everything.
Let me ask you something, Tina. Then why hasn't Attorney General Lynch or President Obama pursued some of these injustices?
They are investigating so many things.
Why haven't they got garnered any results?
The Baltimore report came out of.
So why doesn't Attorney General Lynch then take up the case in Baltimore if that was if a wrong was done there?
What case in Baltimore?
Whatever case. Whatever they're complaining, whatever
they were all
Colin Kaepernick is complaining about.
And they're going to make changes. They said they're going to make changes.
Okay, good. So stand up.
You're being naive. You're being naive to think that everything happens overnight. This is a process. Right. This has been going on in this country for years. Right. It's just televised. It's just on the internet.
Okay, listen, Tina. Listen, I don't disagree.
Black men have been brutalized by cops, and there is no color.
Right, and by the way, Tina, by the way, black men also brutalize cops. That's a whole other story. It goes both ways. But with that said, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Are they supposed to protect and serve? They're not supposed to be in the same category as criminals.
Hey, when a guy is joining a gang and walks up to a cop car and puts a bullet in the cop's head, so he now is officially in the gang, how's he protecting himself? When a guy comes from Baltimore, Tina, and assassinates 2 cops in Bedford-Stuyvesant, how's he protecting himself?
I'm sorry, but those are things that happen to cops. When you become a cop, you are supposed to protect and serve.
Okay, all right, but they split second decision. There was the cop in Chicago, 24-year-old black cop who shot an 18-year-old black kid because the kid pointed a gun at him. The initial, that was Milwaukee. The initial reports were that he was shot in the back. And all kinds of false reports, first posted online by Black Lives Matter, taken up by CNN, and then it conveniently disappeared when the facts turned out to be wrong. Though the alleged facts turned out to be wrong, he was pointing the gun at the cop, and the 24-year-old black cop shot him, and then the story just disappeared.
Hey, Bernard, how about hands up, don't shoot? How about that?
A major lie.
How about half the NBA wearing an I Can't Breathe shirt when they had no idea who the hell Eric Garner was? I mean, let's not act like this is a one-way street. Yes, cops have made mistakes. But there was also black guys that go out and kill cops. Okay, so and white guys for that matter.
And any cop that makes not only a mistake but a bust out murder in the street, as we have seen on tape, one guy shooting a cop in the back down in South Carolina, in Chicago, as we have just stated,
they're in jail
and should be in jail,
right,
and maybe executed.
Right,
we're all for it, but you have to be fair. And again, if an injustice has been done to a young black man, he was shot, and the cop wasn't arrested as he should have been, then Attorney General Lynch and President Obama can take up the case.
And let's talk about maybe why some cops are skittish in the black community, which thank God guys like Charles Barkley come out and talk about, because crime is so high there. Don't act like all of a sudden the black community, there's nothing going on there. The crime rate is high. So cops go there, and they are skittish. They should be pros. They should do a better job. Not going to argue that. But there's a reason why some of these things happen based on statistics that say that's where the majority of the crime happens.
Let's go to Anthony from Fort Lee, New Jersey, on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Could be worse. Thank you.
All right, listen, good talking to you. Listen to you every day. I just got to say something real quick, and that's it. I'm a retired law officer. For about a year and a half, my partner in the detective bureau was black. I'm telling you, every time we locked up a mutt, and the mutt was black, he caught more garbage that you couldn't believe how they ridiculed my poor partner.
Really?
Matter of fact, a couple of times, I'm telling you, I had to turn Bo Dietl on them idiots.
Even though he was there to serve and protect, and he was humiliated and attacked. Now that's disgusting. Jay from Jersey, you're on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning, Jay.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey there.
I've been listening to the station since Joe Crummy and the Dog Pound was on. So when you guys came on, I really had a lot of respect for you guys. But it seems like you have a problem with people saying that in certain instances there's a problem. That that the guy who kind of went like zombie a few weeks ago, a white guy, and he ate some guy's face, and the cops did everything they could, and they didn't kill him. They arrested him. But yet there's other allegations and stories out there in which people are unarmed or gunned down, and people say, hey, we want justice, and somehow you have a problem with that.
No, we want justice. We want, Jay, I promise you, we want justice in every case of injustice. We want justice to be done. We really do. I cited you a statistic that New York Times, Washington Post, that says that though young black males are engaged more by the cops, and that for a good reason probably, that once engaged, that the whites are shot at a much higher rate than blacks. That's a fact.
Well, here's the thing. I have a problem with anybody, regardless if they're black or white. If you're shot and you're unarmed, that's a problem. I think that, too often we justify and we say, well, if the person didn't resist. I mean, if you have sheer numbers on your side, and you could make an arrest and you could, put somebody down without killing them, that's all people are asking.
Listen, JJ, I would say this. Listen, I think most of the time you're right. You shoot somebody who's unarmed, you really can't make a defense. But if somebody is coming at you and they are physically intimidating and they're not listening to you, sometimes you got to shoot them, Jay. That's real life. That's how it works.
And if it is wrong, the Attorney General
then put them away.
And the Justice Department has the last say in the matter.
Last I checked, Darren Wilson, they said what he did was not wrong, and Michael Brown did not have a gun.
Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC. A nice happy topic to start the week. Steve Schirripa is going to join us in studio. He's here now.
He's got sauce.
Oh, boy, he's got sauce. One of the nicest guys in the world. Steve Schirripa is going to join us next hour on Bernie and Sid after this.
77 WABC, Traffic and Transit.
The vehicle fire on the Hutchinson River Parkway southbound at the New England Thruway has cleared and is unwinding from Orchard.
Amazing, huh? Years later, 11:08 on your Tuesday morning, back with hour number 2 of the Bernie and Sid show right here on legendary 77 WABC, and you hear that song, and it's just amazing how many years later it's still 9 years.
Can I ask you,
since the last one?
Steve Schirripa from The Sopranos in the studio with us.
How are you?
Do you get sick of this?
No, I don't, because you know what? There was nothing before that. I had no career before that. I mean, I had worked a little bit, but that was the thing.
That's what makes you great and a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very thankful. I got very lucky. It was like hitting the lottery. It's like if you're going to get on a show, it's hard enough, but to get on that show, I mean, one of the greatest shows in TV history. 9 years later, the show ended in 2007. Wow. I mean, every single day. Yeah. Not a day goes by somebody doesn't say something about the show.
I talked to a lot of you guys, as Bernard does, during the show, since the show. It seemed like the only guy, God rest his soul, that kind of got sick of it was Jimmy. I mean, I think everybody else was like, let's do it again.
Yeah. I think, but you know what? I think if, after a couple years went by, if there was a script, I think he might have did it again. I mean, at the time he was sick of it because he was working, 5 days a week, 18 hours a day. I mean, it drove him crazy.
But he wouldn't have forgotten his roots. In other words,
no.
You see, some of these musical acts, they don't want to do the songs that got them to where they are, and they're like, oh, no, we're gonna do this crap here.
And listen, Jim also, was sick of it 2 years before, but he hung around because you're talking, there's the actors, there's the crew, there's everyone counting on you. You got 200 people that, are counting on you to make a paycheck. So there's a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure on to any show where you're the lead guy. I mean, there's an enormous amount of pressure. It's a lot of work. Even when you're not filming, you're learning lines, you're doing this, you're doing that. I mean, yes, there a lot of big salaries. And they earn it, man.
You've been with us before, and you've actually answered this question with us, but our audience has grown exponentially since the last time.
Huge. I came on, you had nobody.
Right. So the question, what did you think of the ending?
Oh, well, listen, I liked the ending, and I think we've said it here, but we watched it together, 9 of us.
Right.
I was with you.
The
Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
They paid us. We went on like a little tour.
Yep.
We did Atlantic City Friday night, Foxwoods the Saturday night. We took a private plane down Sunday, and we watched it for the first time, 9 of us together. And some guys liked it. Some guys were baffled.
I hated it.
But as time went on, I also believed the next day I was watching CNN and believing all these conspiracy theories. So I got a little confused. I'm going, did that really happen? Was there a guy? I was doubting myself.
Yeah.
And it's a great episode when you watch it now. Tony Sirico was great.
Yes.
What would he call the cat? A snake with fur? There was some great lines in there. Listen, I don't know how else you could have ended it. You know, everybody, for some people, every finale never lives up to
Let me just say that you can still watch it, I think, on Netflix. My son binge watched the whole, what was it, 8 years?
86 episodes.
Okay, he watched the entire 86 episodes, and we'll watch it again at some point.
And listen, he's
22 years old.
That's what I'm saying. There's younger guys now, here, college kids. Sure. They watched it now. I mean, these kids were too young 7 years ago. You know, and the show started. The show started in 99, 2000.
He talks about you and the lasagna in the freezer.
When his wife died, terrible. David Chase did come out and say, though, years afterwards, first he let it resonate and people yell and scream back and forth about what really happened. He did come out and say that Tony did not die in the diner that day. He did not die.
I always thought life went on. It's just what you saw is what you saw.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Everything, the family's back together. Everything just marches on. That's what I thought.
Talking with Steve Schirripa, the great Steve Schirripa, great actor.
You guys are big time now.
Let me tell you how big time we are. Stevie celebrated a birthday 2 days ago. We weren't there. So we're not that big time.
No, but I don't have a big
Francesa, Woody Allen.
I'm old. I'm an old man. I went to the Yankee game. What did I do for my birthday?
That's nice.
I don't know. You had some big shindig at...
No, that was last month.
Oh, that wasn't his birthday.
That wasn't a birthday party. No.
So you did go to... But anyway, Steve Schirripa, first, before we continue, he's a big actor now on Blue Bloods. Every Friday night, 10 o'clock. He's got a prominent role.
Great show.
Works with in the prosecutor's office.
I'm a DA investigator, Anthony Abademarco. I joined last October. I signed on for a bunch more episodes this year, so I'll be around a lot more.
And it's a prominent role.
Yeah, it's a great role. It's a great show.
Yes, it is.
Well-written show. I mean, it's well acted, well written. I worked with Tom Selleck for the first time. He was a great guy.
And Tom Brady's ex,
Bridget Moynihan. She's great actress. And I've worked with some great ones, and she's as good as anybody.
Marky Mark's brother, who's fantastic.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes, I've worked with him. He's a really good guy.
And he's married to what's her name, the blonde that he.
It's a great cast. It's
Jenny McCarthy.
It's a great cast. I mean, well-written show.
It is.
Going into the 7th season. Wow. I mean, does 12, 13 million people on a Friday night.
I know. I watch it. It's fantastic. It's riveting.
It's a very well done show.
Now, on top of that, besides the success of that show where you're great, I've been reading, you can confirm and or deny this, I've been reading that Woody Allen is about to do a new movie in New York. Kate Winslet will be the female star, and that you and Tony Sirico are going to play gangsters.
There's a good possibility that
that's going to be fantastic. Yeah, baby.
There's a good possibility.
Yeah.
I'm a big, huge Woody Allen fan. From when I was in high school, before I ever thought about being an actor. So I met him. I met him on this other project. The Amazon show, and I went in to audition for him, and I didn't have to. She said, "You're not going to have much time," and he kind of was in the shadows, and about speak up, read this. So I went in there, and it was like different than your usual audition, and I said to myself, if I got 1 minute, I'm going to talk about the Knicks, right? And I'm going to get a little time.
You never saw each other there at the Garden?
Yeah, I said hello, but I started talking. I said just before they fired Derek Fisher, I said, Woody, Derek Fisher's got to go. He said, yeah, you think so? I said, yeah. We need a point guard. So I got about 4 minutes in, and I didn't get that role, but then.
That was your audition right there. That's what got you.
I said, let's, I don't have much time, so let's do it, And he's a huge Knick fan.
Huge. Huge.
Now, listen, you also sell this sauce. It's fantastic. Uncle Steve's.
I brought a bunch of sauce for you guys. I brought UncleStevesNY.com. Well, now we're in Whole Foods, ShopRite, Stop and Shop. Soon to be Fresh Direct. We just signed on Friday.
That's huge.
So Fresh Direct, you can get it all over the tri-state
area.
Listen,
it tastes like what your mother used to make.
It really
That's what
is.
It tastes like.
We're in 2,500 stores. I mean, we're throughout the country. We're in L.A. now. All Albertsons out there and all stores. I mean, we're only in business 2 years. We're growing. And then I brought you shirts now.
Yes.
You see the shirt I brought you. Now, every Italian knows Every Italian has gotten hit with a wooden spoon when they were younger.
That's funny.
Wooden spoon survivor.
That's funny.
That's right. That's
And you
hilarious.
can get them. We sell those online. And every Italian knows, you're on a Sunday, your mother's stirring the sauce, you do something wrong, whack.
With the spoon.
Right on the back.
Yep.
It's a sauce and everything on your back.
In my case, it was a mashed potato
There you go.
Right.
utensil.
Everybody's
My case was a $100 bill, because of course I'm Jewish. And also there are rumors that you're going to be on QVC, even going to school for this stuff. How about that?
You got to go to QVC school. I've had literally thousands of TV appearances. Literally, I've been on the TV probably well over 1,000
and
times or
movies
more.
and all kinds of stuff.
And I have to take a course, 8-hour course, to do it the QVC way, which is fine.
Really?
And soon I'll go on and we'll sell our sauce to the masses.
Let me just say one way to sell it to the housewives is to say you get a case of sauce, for example, or you get a case, put it in the closet, take out 4 or 5 bottles, put it in a pot, and pretend like you made it. Put it in a pot and stir it.
They would never know.
You would never know the difference. That's how good it is.
You would never know the difference, and that's the truth. And when we go into these places, like we go in, we bring the sauce, right? Like we're trying, we're trying to sell you, right? So we go in, give the 3 jars of sauce. We bring Italian breads. They say, just taste it. Just taste it.
Yeah.
Taste it first, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
The minute they taste it,
they love it.
it's done.
That's it.
It's done. It's that good.
And there are different flavors, not just marinara.
Well, we got arrabbiata, the spicy one.
Yeah,
we got
right.
marinara, tomato basil.
Arrabbiata's
I
the
brought
best.
some for everybody. Jill Vitale, your producer, said don't even think about coming in without bringing it. She helped me up.
Listen, you can get it, by the way, online, Uncle Steve's sauce online, and the website is
UncleStevesNY.com, or you could call 1-844-NY-SAUCE, and we sell everything online, and you can find out what store's closest to you.
You have the right evolution, because before you started making this sauce, which is incredibly successful for the 2 years it's been out there and growing every single day, you wrote books on cooking, all the Goomba guides to everything. So you went from writing the books on cooking to now having this great sauce. Like there's a natural evolution going on with
but
you.
it just happened. This was my mother's recipe. We made it organic, non-GMO, kosher for you.
Thank you.
We made it kosher.
Because I'm very, very religious.
Do you eat kosher? You keep a kosher house?
One time. She was about 19.
Oi.
See what I did there?
And Orthodox, too.
Somebody told me that there was Orthodox porn. Is that true?
Yes.
There's a porn channel?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Hasids?
Yeah, but it's Friday and Saturday. It's not on. Just during the Shabbos they shut it.
They use a lot of sheets. You can't see much.
I heard that.
But it's hot.
I heard that.
They got like 19 kids apiece, my people. So what do you think they're doing all the time?
Now, we're going to come back with Steve Schirripa. Now we're going to talk some generic stuff. Because Steve is a funny guy. He's a very opinionated guy.
Funny how?
Funny how? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm funny to you? I'm a clown?
I heard we have some friends that are going to run against de Blasio. I love this.
That's right.
I love this.
Curtis Lewa and the Bodino.
Either one of them will be better than de Blasio.
No doubt
Either one of them have my vote. Get this guy out of here. Get him out of the city.
And by the way, his real name is like Heinrich Himmler or something like that.
He's a German. He's a German.
De Blasio is a totally made-up name.
A complete fraud.
He's a total fraud. Steve Schirripa.
Let me say that we're here in part because we know how important this election is to Ohio. Look at Donald Trump's track record when it comes to hard-working men and women. I know, I'm allergic to it too, but you have to look at his record.
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC. Another line that Paul Begala wrote for, when you cough, make sure you say this if the cameras are rolling. And she did it dutifully and not bad.
Well. She was coughing. I mean, hold it against her. Give her the death penalty for coughing. I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, but it was a clever line.
It was a great line.
That that somebody wrote for her.
She delivers the line well. Schirripa has his lines written too, but it's how you deliver it, not,
I have my lines written. Who writes my lines?
No.
Who writes my lines? I just did a Dr. Urology commercial.
That's right.
But they should add that, right? Like I told you, I got a friend of mine, one of my closest friends. He's 90 years old. He lives in Las Vegas. He said the only time I don't feel like pissing is when I'm pissing. And it's the truth. As we get older, we're getting older, man.
I got to tell you something. I just came back from Ireland with my son, and the poor kid. I had to tell, because I'm drinking coffee to stay awake and what.
Yeah.
And every half hour somewhere, I'm like, I think I'm going to take a leak over here.
Of course.
He took a picture of me on the side of the highway. I had no idea. I was taking a leak in some Irish bushes.
And I do it all the time, too, during the day and at night. Now, a good 4 or 5 times. So my wife made me go to the doctor 2 weeks ago. It turned into a whole shtick on our show because no guy wants to go to the doctor.
And were you okay?
I'm fine. He stuck his finger up the old
easy.
Bell Parkway.
He does it. Yeah.
He does
it. Yeah, I'm going back again tomorrow.
Yeah, I know you are.
And by the way,
bring some sauce.
Twice a week.
He quit to drive for Uber after that.
Yeah.
He's done. He's out. In the studio, Bernie and Sid with Steve Schirripa from Blue Bloods, formerly The Sopranos, but great guy. Uncle Steve's Sauce. Get it at UncleStevesNY.com. We were talking. Well, first of all, I mean the $1 million question. We were talking about De Blasio. You heard Hillary coughing up a lung there, and the whole thing is Donald Trump. Come on. He
doesn't like him.
Can't
no, I don't decide. When I know him and I like him personally, I'm not that big. This is what I'm concerned about. Hillary is not a good person. Right. She's a thief, and we know what she's a professional politician, knows how to play the game. But is Donald too crazy? Is he going to get us in a lot of trouble?
Now, you're right about it. See, but you're right.
That's what I'm worried about. I like him personally, but he's starting to getting too crazy.
I'm willing to roll the dice with. I don't know the answer to that question, but I am willing to roll the dice with.
I am not, by the way. With 2 young kids, I'm not. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'd rather have a crook than a liar.
I think with her, at least, it's kind of maybe going to stay close to the same.
Right. Yeah. Which is not awful. It's not awful.
I don't know with Donald.
It is awful.
He wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one day. He might.
No. It's the exact opposite. She's the one who was all for these wars overseas, the Iraq War and all this crazy crap. She wanted to go into Libya. She wants to go in to take out Bashir. She wants the war. She's the one he's like, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to save the money that we spend overseas on all these crazy, stupid things we've been doing. We're going to spend it here now.
But is he going to be able to do this?
No, of course not.
They don't let you do it.
Of course. Look, his instincts, he'll be able to do some of it. And he wants a secure border. Who doesn't want a secure border?
No, I understand that, and I agree with some of the things I agree with, but also we got to get Obama out of here. I mean, this guy just gave the okay to this Colin, what's
Kaepernick?
Yeah, exactly.
He gave him a pass. It's okay not to
and
stand for, little at a time.
Believe me when I tell you, she believes the exact same thing, and not only that, she's one of the people who calling the cops racist. She perpetuates the canard, the lie that the cops
You're not going to convince him. You're not going to convince him. Stop.
No. I'm just, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just,
what are you
doing?
Hillary.
You're Hillary, yeah?
I'm not. Listen, I don't think the world...
Have you had Donald on yet?
No. He won't come on with us. He hates me.
Why does he hate you?
Why does he hate
It's always about you, Sid.
But he
doesn't even know you exist, man.
He does.
He knows me, he likes me, and he agreed to come on, and then he apparently listened to the show. Sid's here calling him a jerk off and stuff like that.
Sid.
So that's why he hasn't
That would have been big for the show.
I know. Right. He couldn't contain himself.
But wait a second. I can't contain you. Right. I'm too immature.
He doesn't like you.
But the guy's he's running for president. He's going to get upset when Sid Rosenberg calls him a jerk off.
Yeah, he's got very thin skin.
Yeah.
You want
that guy?
I interviewed him. I interviewed him once with the Tonight Show when I was a correspondent for them, and there was like no getting him. He wasn't going to be the butt of the joke. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what's
and I was like kind of ripping on him a little, and it wasn't happening.
You know what's funny? Ali G, remember Borat? What's his name? Sacha
Cohen.
Ali G, he punked a lot of people. He sat down with Trump. It lasted about 10 seconds, and Trump was like, "Get out of here."
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't get him.
They won't let me talk to you.
And you know who else? O'Reilly. You can't get the better of him either.
No, that's true.
Plus, I had Trump and O'Reilly. No, and I like Bill, and
he's on Bill's show every Tuesday night.
I know him and like him. I see him at the Knicks games all the time. But I interviewed him, and he wasn't having it.
Would you send?
Some guys play,
right?
Like when I used to do these man on the street things.
And by the way, on Jay Leno, they were fantastic.
Yeah, we used to do these things for 6 years, and then I went to the Republican convention.
2004. I was there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, we were just, playing with people. Anderson Cooper was there, this one, that one. Bill O'Reilly and Trump weren't having it. They weren't having it.
Would you send your sauce to both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? Would you send your sauce to both of them?
Would I send my sauce?
Yeah.
Sure.
Would you be honored, in fact, if Hillary and Bill whipped up a Sunday sauce?
Listen, I know Bill a little.
You like him?
Bill. I like Bill. I've met him numerous times.
He's fun, right?
I met him in Pastis, the bar in the Meatpacking District.
Of
I was
course.
in the bar one night.
I was there last night. No, I'm only kidding.
No, it's not there anymore. But I was in a bar with Johnny V.
Johnny
the chef
Ventimiglia
on the show.
Artie Bucco.
And we stopped. We were at some event, and we were having a drink, and Secret Service came over and said, Bill Clinton would like to say hello to you guys. I'm not lying.
Wow.
And he wasn't the president. He was out of there. But we went to the back, and there was about a dozen people there. His daughter was there.
Wow.
And we talked to him for about 15 minutes. We invited him to the set. We were shooting The Sopranos at the time.
Did you give him any sauce?
No, I didn't have sauce.
I put my sauce on the sausage. The girls love it.
But
tastes good.
Would I be honored? I'm not honored. I'm not honored if anybody. I'm honored that my friends, you guys, like
we
the
love
sauce.
you.
That's what honors.
So the one time
I don't care about.
So the one time you met Bill Clinton, you really liked him, and the one time you met Donald Trump,
I met him a couple times.
And the one time you met Trump, you didn't like him that much.
I've met Donald a lot of times. I like Donald too.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I want him to be the president, but I like him.
Okay,
personally.
We'll pursue this.
I saw him at the Ranger game. He's a good cat, He's a good guy. He said, Steve, you've never looked better. My wife says, I think he wants your vote.
And a jar of sauce. Bernie and Sid with Steve Schirripa in studio. We're coming back right after the news.
77 WABC.
Yeah. This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was
11:42. Bernie and Sid show back on 77 WABC.
Love Nat King Cole.
This is him. That's exactly right. You nailed it again. 19 minutes away from the Curtis and Kubi show. Curtis Sliwa, Ron Kubi. Curtis Sliwa is in studio as we speak. The great Curtis. He is considering running for mayor against Bo Dietl, and Steve Schirripa, our esteemed and honored guest, has already. Well, you know how he feels about de Blasio. So.
Actually, yeah, he would be running against Bolshevik Bill de Blasio.
Look, Bo's a friend of mine, and Curtis. I was like, no. We're good. We're
all cool.
We let bygones.
We squashed that.
That's all done. That's in the past. That's all gone. Yeah. I'm all good with Curtis Sliwa, and I would like to call Mayor Sliwa or Mayor Dietl instead of Mayor de Blasio.
Yeah.
How about that? This guy is the worst. He wanted to separate this city. I've been, and I don't talk politics usually, but we've been talking about this for quite a long time, even from the Imus days.
This bum, this slob,
this guy destroyed the city. Man.
He sleeps till 11 o'clock. Yeah, he's destroyed the city. He
destroyed the city. He set out to do this from the beginning. He set out to do it. He does not care about the city. He set out to make his mark.
Right.
Whether it's good or bad.
He wants it to go backwards. He wants it to go
It is certainly backwards.
It is. And look what he did to the irresponsible rhetoric leading up to the execution of two cops. Never apologized for any of that crap.
He is a reverse racist. He's a racist.
That's exactly right. Plus, the amount of people masturbating on trains, that's a big issue for you, no?
He doesn't care. What do I have to do with masturbating on trains?
It's a big story.
Where does that come in?
It's just a big story now. It makes the city look bad.
You could slip and fall. It makes for...
But I got to tell you this, honestly, there's more homeless on the streets.
Oh, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Curtis, you're out there, no?
Well, first off, let me make mention that, Steve, I had disparaged you in the past, and our boss of all bosses here, Chad Lopez, said, you don't apologize. You're on the shelf. You remember that, Bernard and Sid. It got very testy.
Well, not only that, I think it was sincere.
I was totally off the hook on that. But hearing you as a fellow Brooklynite suggests that Curtis Sliwa, Bo Dietl, or anyone else should replace that fake, phony, fraudulent, fugazi Brooklynite from Cambridge, Massachusetts, a Boston Red Sox fan, I might add.
Absolutely.
Well, that was like music to my ears. And I got the campaign slogan for the weenie waivers.
What is it?
If you misuse it, you should lose it. Castration is your cure. Keep your rocket in your pocket. See, this, and that'll get the female vote. Because guys, they don't care. Nobody ever takes a weenie out unless they want him to.
I care. But I don't want to see it.
But women, obviously, they're constantly confronted with these pervs.
No, it is a big problem. The groping on the subway and the guys who just... What about... Remember the picture of the guy who was smoking crack on the 3 train, and then he took his clothes off.
Yeah.
I mean, this is commonplace in this city, thanks to the slob Bolshevik Bill de Blasio.
I mean, but
who's got to go.
He doesn't care. I mean, he really doesn't care about the city.
And he's a crook,
He
too.
cares about himself. And there's some actors that are friends with him, and I won't even mention any names.
I will. Louis C.K.
He loves him.
What are you doing with a punk like this?
Listen, I don't know. I like Louis. I have known Louis for a while. I don't get it.
Right.
Steve Buscemi, who I like and I worked with, he's good friends with this guy.
Oh, my God.
Rosie Perez is good friends with this guy.
Look, also he sold out to these rich real estate developers. He was supposed to be the champion of affordable housing.
He keeps slipping away. How does he keep slipping away? This guy is guilty, and he keeps slipping away. He keeps getting away with it. I mean, I don't understand how.
He's slick like the woman
like
running
Hillary
for
Clinton.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't get it.
Although he has one plus. As you know, he was Kaiser von Wilhelm. That's what he was born. That was his born name.
That's right.
He decided he's coming to New York with a German last name. You're not going to get very far. Right. So he took his mom's name, de Blasio, and ran for office. But remember, he had a little jungle fever there. He, the Italian stallion, was able to convert his own wife, who had been a hardcore lesbian, wrote editorials about the great life you could have as a lesbian. I'd like to know what his secret was.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good job out of him.
I thought you can't pray away the gay. That's what I always
You know, how do you be the mayor of New York and you're seriously? I know it may not mean you're wearing a Boston Red Sox hat.
That's horrible.
It's a joke.
I mean,
Bloomberg first.
Did you see him throw out the first pitch at City Field? Did you see that? That was awful.
Right. It's almost like one of my issues with Chris Christie. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're going to be the governor of New Jersey and the Jets and Giants are bringing money into New Jersey, don't sit in Jerry Jones' box for dollars.
He's all. Christie's all confused. He don't know what's
going on. You like him? He loves your sauce, by the way.
I met him once. I met Christie one time. I played him in a skit. Jon Stewart had a benefit, and I was with 2 of the Jersey Shore girls.
Right. Okay.
And Robert Smigel, Triumph.
Yeah.
The funniest guy. He's the funniest.
Hilarious.
And he called me up. He said, Steve, I want you to play Chris Christie, and you're going to be with these Jersey Shore girls. And I said,
Snooki? Was Snooki one of them?
No, it was Jay Wow and Sammy or something. And I went, I don't like the Jersey Shore, that whole thing. And he said, just read it. And it was the nastiest, the nastiest thing that I could possibly say. Why these girls put themselves in that position. And it was at the Beacon Theater. And listen, I had to wear a fat suit to look like Christie. How about that? As fat as I am, I had to wear a fat suit to make it look real.
That's fat.
You're going to get mad at me, but after Sopranos, which I miss the most, I miss Sopranos the most. Maybe the show I miss second most of the Sopranos, Jersey Shore.
Really?
I love that show.
Really?
Oh, Mike, the situation.
They didn't make Italians look bad. They made human beings look bad.
He watches
the human race look bad.
He watches Real Housewives.
I do.
That type of
I love them all.
Do you know there's a one housewife from New Jersey?
Which one? Melissa or Teresa?
No,
Teresa's husband's in jail.
Jackie.
Oh, Jacqueline.
Who I've known since she's a teenager.
Yeah.
She grew up in Vegas.
Oh, really?
I used to work with her father.
Yeah,
she's a nice girl.
Her husband, Chris, is a nice guy?
Her husband's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
There you go.
So anyway, listen.
But I don't watch the show, but he's a good guy.
I like the rapprochement we developed here between you and Curtis Sliwa. I just want to, take it full circle right here, the two of you. You're going to support Curtis Sliwa over de Blasio.
Oh, absolutely, positively. I like Bo. I'll have to listen to them. I will say Mayor Sliwa or Mayor Dietel anytime.
There you go. Okay, all right.
Now, with that said,
I will accept.
With that said, Curtis, Bo Dietel made the official announcement, which raised the ire of that's fine. On this show that he's running for mayor, you have not really made the official announcement.
Bo had to because he's challenging him in the Democratic primary.
Right.
Whereas I'm a Reform Party member. That's for the general election.
It can wait.
But I will tell you this: one question that Steve must answer, because I listened intently when you've had him as a guest. He said he had been on the shelf for a year, hadn't played basketball, b-ball at Brooklyn College, comes back, hits 8 shots in a row.
Absolutely.
Now, Larry Bird, on his best day, if he were off for a year, couldn't hit 8 shots in a row.
Now, wait a second.
I didn't touch a ball in years. This is during The Sopranos. I get a call from Madison Square Garden. Like in 2000, 2001. We heard you played basketball.
Yeah.
They interview me. Now, this lifelong Knick fan. They interview me on the court at the Garden. It's like in the summer.
Sure.
On the court. They're interviewing me for MSG.
I saw it.
I banged 6 3-pointers.
You outshot Allen Houston. You outshot Allen Houston.
6 feet.
Who was an all-star at the time.
There is tape of this.
Yes.
It was not cut.
I saw it.
6 3-pointers. I didn't touch a ball in 2 years.
Yeah. No,
it just was one of those things. My pants were falling. The guy was making jokes. He's going, "Oh, you make those shots. Get it? You know."
Yeah.
Nice.
I swear to you.
Steve Schirripa
if I would have
from
practiced,
downtown.
He's a good ball player. He was a good ball player.
if I would have practiced, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go.
All right. So there, Curtis.
Apologies are in order again.
No
Apologies
lie.
are
No
the
lie.
mighty Whitey. There's another Woody Harrelson here.
Remember, I played with Woody Harrelson. I kicked his ass years ago in Vegas when he used to play. When they were shooting a movie there, there was one court in Vegas,
Right.
Like where everyone played, and I'm talking pros and actors and stuff. It was behind the Stardust. I kid you not. It is now a strip club called Sapphires. It was once
I've
a
been
great
there.
gym that all the Rebels played. I've known Larry Johnson. I knew Greg Anthony in high school.
That whole
I played
Anderson
with.
Hunt,
All those
Stacey
guys.
Augman. What a
All
great
those
team.
guys.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Listen, I could sit here all morning and listen to Steve Schirripa.
He's got great stories.
He's got the fantastic. We're sitting here with Steve Schirripa from Blue Bloods, Uncle Steve's Sauce,
Uncle Steve's
NY.com, and we have like a minute left. And listen, the Mets are on their way back, but you're a big Yankee fan,
I'm a Yankee
right?
fan. I was there yesterday. They're playing good. They're playing these young guys. They won 5-3.
Big series,
They got
Toronto.
a wild card shot, you think?
I think maybe a shot. It's getting a little more exciting, I tell you, because I went earlier in the year, and there's just nothing happening. Teixeira, A-Rod, I mean, it's just no energy.
Old.
Right.
One thing I got to say, a lot of people in the Yankee games, it's very expensive. And you got these people that don't seem they want to be there. They're on their phones the entire time.
I can't even tell you. You look at the seats surrounding home plate.
There's nobody
and
there.
They're empty.
Yeah.
And yet the upper decks are filled. You got the whole borough of the Bronx.
It's really,
dying to get in. They can't afford it.
I go to the games. Yankees would take care of me over the years. Mitch Modell, who's a good friend. I mean, he's giving you. He's got 6 seats behind home plate. He gives them a lot, and you eat for free and all that, but. You have a beer, it's like $14.
If you don't make 6 figures or higher, you can't go to. You can't afford a Yankee game. It's ridiculous. It's insulting.
I'll tell you a funny story. I was at the Garden, and I'm a big Knicks fan, Madison Square Garden fan. I'm sitting next to Dolan, and I ordered like popcorn and water. And just to be nice, I'm at the game. I said, "You guys, Jim, you want anything?" He went, "Nah, too expensive." Which is, he has a good sense of humor. He's a good cap, and he said that, it's too expensive.
Yeah, that's hilarious, right there. Steve Schirripa on Bernie and Sid. Steve,
thank
listen,
you guys.
we
Curtis, good to make up with you.
Yes.
Good to say hi.
No tongue after the show,
We're all
fellas.
good.
Listen, always a
and
pleasure.
good luck running.
And an honor. Yes.
Good luck
I buried
beating
my
de
bones
Blasio.
with you, Steve. I buried my bones with you.
Good luck. Good luck
There you
beating
go.
de Blasio. Bo Dito beat de Blasio. Anybody.
All right, Steve Schirripa back on Bernie and Sid after this.
77 WABC.